Hey guys, it's Alexis back with a brand new video. Thank you for being here. Happy Monday. Today, you guys, I have a brand new success story, and I'm also going to touch upon why and what is going on with your specific person. How do you figure out what's really happening within you that is projecting onto your relationship? I'm going to use this client example as a way to give some illustrations and examples of how the subconscious mind got formed. Just some handy dandy tips I haven't really talked about in a while in a video about how you are and why you are the way that you are, and how you are and why you are the way that you view things. Wouldn't that be enlightening? All right, so before I get started, the links for booking one-on-one coaching are in the box below. You have access to my calendar if you want to book a one-on-one coaching session to go over your issues or what's going on with your specific person, to get affirmations and to get an understanding about how to reframe things. Very helpful. As well as you can book a one-on-one hypnosis session. For first clients though, and new clients, I need to see you first for coaching, and then you can book hypnosis, okay? If, like I've said in every video, please look online though for available sessions, because there usually are some, I think. And if you do not see a time that works for you, or if you want more access to a future session availability on my calendar, please email our receptionist, Brandy, sessions@createyourfuture.co. You give us times you're available. That's so helpful. And we can get you on my calendar so that I can help you sort through your situation. That's what I'm here for. Okay. So you guys, this client is such a wonderful illustration of perseverance, persistence, staying the course, staying the path. Because those things are all vitally necessary and vitally important when you are learning how to master recreating your relationship, whether it be your boyfriend manifesting an ex back, recreating something with your husband, recreating a relationship with your child, recreating a relationship with your sister or brother, a parent, anything, okay? All of those scenarios and examples I just said involve an SP, funnily enough. So SP is not always a romantic interest, but like almost all of my clients, this client was focusing on recreating herself, recreating the specific person. And I want to say that she really stuck the course, and you got to embrace that in this journey. Recreating your relationship, recreating your reality, even reality creation as a whole, is see it as a lifelong adventure and process, okay? It's not something that you want to look at like, when I get it right, if he says this, and if I get this, then I'm done, okay? Or if I do it this way, or if I do so many things and then I'm done. No, okay? We are learning how to recreate our reality, use the power of your mind to recreate you, recreate the aspects of your physical reality that you see outside of you. And hey, it's a lifelong thing. You're not going to learn this and get to a conclusion and then be done. And then like, hey, no. And why would you even want to look at it that way? Okay. I have been asked over the years, when I first found this information, as I kind of always been a coach, okay, before I was a coach in fitness, and now I'm a relationship manifestation coach. But when I first found this, like, oh my God, was it too much? And I want to say, heck no. When I first found the create your reality, your mind projects and creates your reality, your assumptions and your beliefs about you create what's happening out there. For me, just my honest answer is, it was so relieving. Okay. And I'm going to illustrate why in this video, but you got to see it as not like, oh, now I know this and it's so difficult, or I wish I didn't know this anymore, or something, because you want to see this as enlightening, relieving information, because it means what you're seeing outside of you, it does come from you, but it's not your fault. The assumptions and beliefs you have about love and relationships, they're things that were given to you, that you saw, that you interpreted, and that were embedded in your mind, that created beliefs and assumptions within you that you've never looked at, never thought about, and that you can change. So what is more inspiring and relieving than that? I don't know. I mean, that your reality is up to you, and that you can change it, and that you are changing it, and that we have the ability to consciously create wonderful, beautiful life experience. That's so fun and amazing. You got to embrace it and look at it that way. Okay. So this client though, when she came to coaching with me, she had done coaching before from somewhere else. She had done a lot of self-help, situation, like self-help, not situationship. Okay. I'm going to go into labels in this video too. A lot of, this is what it was. Feminine, masculine energy courses, which I really love the basis of those. I don't agree with all things everywhere, and there can be not helpful information in some of these things from my perspective, but she had learned a lot and grown a lot from all these things. Okay. So if you're someone out there that's wanting to try a bunch of things and you're investigating yourself and you're learning things, I did all that too. I studied, as you know, or you don't know, coaching, NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, as well as energy healing, energy therapy, learning the energy system of the body. I did study masculine, feminine energy systems and more of the yin and the yang in the relationships, and less about masculine, feminine, more about how two people create a whole, create harmony in a relationship. I found that very enlightening, very amazing. And I also studied, obviously, the mind, Neville Goddard, Florence Scovel, all of the things out there about manifestation. And then I figured out a way to kind of sandbox it together, sandwich it together in a way that was workable, that helped people get change in their relationships, and that I obviously used to create change in my marriage and in my reality with everyone as a whole. Okay. So anyways, going off on some tangents, it's going to make sense. So this client had done that. She had done a bunch of things, but she was very frustrated. She was very frustrated with her specific person who was her boyfriend slash partner slash domestic partner slash husband. Okay. They didn't have an official marriage, but they said they were married. And he was consistently, continually doing things that frustrated, angered, disappointed her, letting her down, not following through, not making plans. The list goes on and on, not making dates, not this, not this, not that, not that, not that, not that. He did a lot of things that, let's just say, internally still really ticked her off, or she felt like weren't good enough. Now, at the time she booked coaching, she said, Alexis, I am considering that maybe it's not going to work. Maybe he's not the guy for me. Maybe I do want to see other people. Maybe I am interested in other people. And when anyone says that, I say, okay, great. Let's explore it. Let's talk about it. Okay. Because the thing is if you're talking to me about him, chances are there's still an inclination of interest about him. But like with everyone, we talk about it, work it through. I give you some strategies and advice, and you can kind of have someone as a soundboard to air it out with who's non-judgmental. Okay. So that's where she was at, though. I want to be very clear. She was at the point of not like giving up, but just kind of like at the point of, am I into him? Am I interested in this? Okay. The caveat is that they have not one, not two, but 3 kids together. So she felt like, and all of the kids are under the age of 8. Okay. So she did have, and I really understand, I'm a parent of a young kid myself, wanting to have a family and stay together, not for the kids, but for you, so that you have a partner and that you do the family thing together. Okay. She also really wanted to do family different because of how her family had been growing up. So she was really dedicated to motherhood. She was really dedicated also to her career. She kind of had all of the things going on, right? The thing that was missing was him showing up for her, him being there for her, him doing things for her, him planning things, right? And they would unequivocally get very caught up in the kids, this kid, that kid, this kid, where are we going? What's happening with them? What's going on? Okay. So we had to have a mental diet and also strategies for all these scenarios right now. Like I've said, you guys, in videos, I've heard it all. Okay. And I can't say I can like do it all, right? But if you come at me with multiple scenarios and it's just like mapping out, okay, what's our thought system about this? What's our perception of this? What's our thought system of that? It's not necessarily a list of affirmations for everything, okay? Because like I told her, and like I want you to remember today and this week, is that it comes down to you. It really is all about you. Now, if you can get to the bottom of your real issues, the issue under the tissue, then it will all come together for you, okay? Your reality, this is the back to basics talk. Your reality is a basis of you. Your subconscious mind has embedded and taken on information, belief systems, excuse me, assumptions about relationships. In this case, she had a lot that were about men and about a person that she loved. Remember too, that these things will not get triggered until you're in a relationship. Okay. So if you're single gal, single guy, you're like, oh my God, Alexis, I feel so great. And then I fall in love and then it all goes to crapola. Okay. That's because your concept of you and your beliefs of love come into play only when you got a person there. Now, the thing is this that I stand by is, when you have a person there, you can actually work through these things. In a way, the easy route out is singlehood, always being alone. Okay, even if you don't want it. there's less to have to work through. So challenge yourself. And like I said, okay, but let's view him as a projection and creation of your unwanted things that you can work through and that we can get information about. And it's actually great that you're considering leaving, because it will give you the appropriate viewpoint to observe yourself with detachment, not detaching from the manifestation, but detaching from making it about something personal and bad about her, so she can fully resolve and do the thing. Okay. Now, I do have a success story to read. This video might be a little bit longer. All right. Just for my eyes, okay? Dear Alexis, thank you so much for all of your help in coaching. And thank you so much for your tough love approach, which really wasn't tough at all, but that it really kept me on track. Every time that I met with you, you were able to give me a new insight into my information and my situation. She wrote information situation. And thank you so much for all of the mini homework things that you assigned to me along the way, and the way that you enabled me to really see that my reality does come from me, and that it's all about me, but that it all is not my fault. So I realize now, when I first came to you for coaching and I came to conscious manifestation, conscious creation, that I was making everything about a blame game. And because I had learned that the reality was a creation of me, that I was taking it all as my fault, and therefore I thought everything with him was my fault. Well, you helped me see that it really is none of that, and that my programming and all of my things began way, way, way back when, and that we just had to uncover and reframe and re-understand and reaffirm who I am now, with a conviction and a strength and a confidence I had never had before. And I don't have enough time to write in my email here the backstory of me and my SP, but I can now tell you that we are moving forwards better than ever. And I can't believe how great things are. He is doing things for me as he does things for the kids. He's planning date nights for us. And now we are finally, once and for all, after all these years and all these kids and all this time, talking about tying the knot, having a wonderful ceremony, maybe going to Las Vegas, ... wink, wink, wink. You know that that's what I was thinking and affirming for. And that he is also talking and opening up about himself like he hasn't in a long time. He's telling me so many things, sharing his emotions, sharing his true self. And I just feel like everything is moving forwards. Thank you so much. And I really want to remind everybody that here's my success story, that just like me, you can go from not having it to having it. You can go from being in the lack of it to the abundance of it, and that it can happen quickly as long as you commit to your process, your self-worth, your self-work, and staying the path. Can't wait to see you soon, Alexis. XOXO exclamation point. All right. So you guys, yeah. Now, just like her, like with all of my clients, it is, I had someone say this to me this week. Gosh, Alexis, this is really deep work. And it's like, yeah, it is. Okay. Now I want to tell you why that is, though. Like, why is your self-change work, and why is manifesting a person? Why is manifesting for your relationship so deep and so arduous, and it's got a lot to it? Well, it's because your ingrainment of who you are in relationships and what happens to you in relationships and your place in relationships and what people do or don't do for you got ingrained a long time ago. Okay. Now, chances are it didn't get ingrained into your mind when you had your first boyfriend or girlfriend at age 12, 13, 15, 17. Okay. Like you've heard me say in previous videos a long time ago, you're imprinting into the subconscious mind about love, trust, love staying, what your chosen person, like a man or a woman, what they do for you. It all gets ingrained ages 0 to 7. Now, I said this to a client this week too, and I want to say this in a video because I'm not sure if I've said it. What are the numbers I just said? 0 to 7. Okay. Now, you guys, what is 0? 0 is the womb. 0 is before age 1. Okay. So 0 to 7 also includes 6 months old. It also includes the time in incubation, the time when you came in and you heard the thoughts that your mom was thinking. You heard her perspective also on love. Okay. And you took some of them on. This is an idea. Okay. Not to get too out there, but just through thought, because thought creates and thoughts transmit. You took on the beliefs and the ideas that she was also generating. Okay. Now, the thing is this, you chose to come into her. You picked her, remember? So it's not her fault. And it's not your fault either. It is all just an experience of evolution. But this is why a lot of people have a lot of things going on in relationships that they don't want anymore, that they're so sick of. Abandonment, rejection, all of these things. Okay. So isn't that interesting? Because that's what we know. 0 to 7 is when you imprint and you ingrain what love is. Okay. So in particular with this client, we did a lot of homework and a lot of investigating about things that she had never remembered. The thing is that your subconscious does remember. Okay. It will help you to understand that abandonment and or rejection, it's not your fault. It is just something that you've taken on and that we can remove and heal and let go of systematically through the appropriate mental diet. So this is why coaching and working on this is a one-on-one process. Okay. I have my general hypnosis audios that are made for the general public. I also have all of my courses that are general information, but they are never, ever a stand-in for one-on-one investigation and coaching with me, okay? Because you need some help to figure this stuff out. I've had some clients recently that also took a break from talking to me, tried to figure it out, and they really couldn't observe what they needed or they couldn't figure it out, and they didn't have the full-blown affirmations for what they really wanted to create with the person, okay? So anyways, she was a lot like that, and it took me listening and asking and listening and asking, unraveling and opening up the layers of her to figure out really where this abandonment thing would come from. Because that was her biggest theme, is this: he didn't do enough. He was always gone. He was occupied somewhere else. She felt so alone. She felt so lonely. Okay, those are keys and markers for abandonment: aloneness, loneliness, having to take everything on your own, being independent, being a warrior, being the one that does everything, having to figure everything out. Those are generally abandonment wounds. Rejection is different. Today's video is about abandonment. Apparently, I hadn't planned for that, but I intend it works and it speaks to everyone. Okay. So yeah, now we had to kind of peel apart, and I would ask her, well, what about this? What about that? When did this start? When did that start? So you can begin also to do this with yourself. But the biggest point here that I want to make is your programming doesn't come from you. It's not your fault. If you come to conscious creation, conscious manifesting, and now you're blaming yourself, that is the most useless, unhelpful waste of time you can also be doing with your mind. Okay. Instead, you want to be like, okay, so if none of this is my fault and it's just within me and I can change me, what's this about? Who am I and where did I feel like love was gone and love wasn't trustworthy, right? I'm going to go back then. I'm going to think about that in my mind. I'm going to go there and I'm going to be like, listen, if it's me, listen, little Alexis, right? If you're Brian, listen, little Brian. We understand now that we misperceive things, right? It was never about us. You were never actually abandoned. It was just how we took it on. It was our perception, our label. And we're going to say now, we're going to tell ourselves now, oh, guess what? I'm loved now. I choose to see that love has always been here with me because I'm loved and love stays with me. I'm creating now the perception and the decision, the idea that love has always been around. It was just my limited viewpoint then that I took on. That became an assumption. Okay. So I really want to encourage everyone, though, to stop blaming themselves, putting themselves down, feeling like any kind of failure mechanism is coming up. None of that, you guys, none of it's helpful. In the process of self-investigation and recreating your self-concept and love in your person, you got to have a couple other things: compassion for yourself, acceptance and understanding, vulnerability and observation, right? This is not like a do it to get it to make it happen. It's more of a deeper process and understanding what the heck is in your deeper mind. What the heck is really going on with you, okay? And then thinking the opposite of it so that you feel better, you create things to be different, and you manifest the relationship that you're wanting, okay? You can do this. Everyone can do this. But really, please stop blaming yourself and putting yourself down for whatever is happening. Be in the process of creating it, allowing it to come through, and allowing yourself to figure yourself out in the entire thing, right? Being hard on yourself, putting yourself down, having a lack of self-compassion is probably how you've always related to yourself, because that's how you were always related to. Okay. Now, again, it was never your parents' fault either. It even wasn't your parents' fault either, because you picked your gender to come into your family. You picked the way you came here, and it was all for your benefit, evolution, learning, and to create the conclusion of being the writer, the designer, and the director of your reality. Because to sum it all up, you are now the writer, the director, and the script writer of your reality. You didn't know that then, even though you were just taking a certain role. Other people had a role, you had a role, but now it is time to reclaim your focus, your power, and being the true designer and creator of your experience. Okay? Jeez. I've been going off on these tangents. All right. So I wish everyone loved this week. Listen to this video a couple of times. I've said so many key things in here that I really want you to understand in order to stay the course, stay the path, keep on creating and keep on manifesting things, people, and experiences until you get to the full conclusion of the full dream. Okay. I love you guys so much. Hope you enjoyed the video. I intend you did. And celebrate yourself this week. You're amazing and awesome. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.